guys, it's Izzy, and I just want to list a few things that make me angry. A lot of them have to do with teachers, but some are just about like regular people, like friends or ex-friends or ex-is. But number one, when teachers get sexual in class. Well, one of my teachers, she has a husband, and he's a police officer. And one time he came into class. I'm like, oh, okay. And I wasn't really paying attention. But then they started talking about poetryoutloud.com because we were studying poetry or whatever. And when she was talking, she was getting, like, kind of inappropriate, if you will. Like, she was, like, making sexual advances. While I was trying to read this boring book that she assigned, she was like, poetryoutloud.com. I'm not kidding. She did the tongue popping thing. Ask Butthole Betty. Let's see. Maeve Hickey 1. Beauty Barbecue. I don't know if that's her channel name. She hasn't made it yet. And ask any one of them because they all know what I'm talking about. Number 2. When teachers get mad over the littlest things. Like today in math, I scribbled on my friend's paper, and the teacher got so angry. She called me up to her desk with the boy, Noah, I scribbled on his paper, and she's like, if you can't be doing this anymore. I'm like, what? She's like, you're failing. I'm like, first of all, I have an A in math, so I don't know what she's talking about. And then I told her not, and she's like, oh, sorry, but so you can't be fooling around. I'm like, I'm not. She's like, you scribbled on his paper. I'm like, it was just a joke. It was kind of an in a moment thing. And then she's like, if you don't care, next time I see it, I'm going to send you down to prevention. And I'm like, oh, okay. And like whenever she turned around, I flipped her off because I just get really angry. Number 3, when teachers think they're so chic, like, and nice and popular, I guess, but they're really not because, um, last, well, like pretty much every day, there's this one teacher of mine. She thinks she's so chic and she could be shutting down the runway. She thinks she could be a model, when honestly, all she can do is waddle down the stairs to the cafeteria. She eats hot dogs at 8 a.m. in the morning during class, and I can't. Then there's like all these people that like think they're so good at something. They're the best at something. They're better than anybody else, but they're not. I mean, for example, there's this girl at my stable because I ride horses, and she thinks she's better than anybody else when she can barely trot. Like, I'm not gonna get into real details because if I did, you'd probably be lost because I doubt any of you like ride horses. But if you do, you probably know that there's one person at your stable that thinks they're better than anybody else, or you've met that kind of person at a show or anywhere really. And like, I don't care if you're better than me or not. You don't need to say it. Like, if you could be the greatest rider in the world, but you don't have to brag about it. You could be the best at anything, and you don't really have to say anything, cause like you there. But what pisses me off more is people who aren't good at it at all bragging about themselves being the best. Like, saying you're the best at something when you really are is one thing, and it's annoying as fuck. But when you aren't, it just makes me want to cut off your testicles and shove them down your throat. Um, Another thing that makes me angry, when people take advantage of you just to get something. For example, I paid for more than half for tickets to a One Direction concert because I'm a Directioner, and if you hate on me, I swear to God, I don't care. If you don't like One Direction, you don't need to say it, and if you feel like you're gonna hate on me, you can leave. Like, even though I have 30 subscribers because I just started this channel, but you don't need to hate on them because they don't give a fuck about you. Um, Anyway, I paid for over half for these tickets, and then we got in a fight, and then we made up, and she said she already promised the tickets to the other friend, but I'm the one who paid for them mostly. She paid for a fourth, and I paid for 3/4, so I don't know what she's talking about. And now I can't go, but I could get tickets next year, and then I'm not one of those people who like get back at her, like offer her tickets and then take them away. I'm not like that. Which brings me to my next topic. People who go out of their way to get revenge. Getting revenge, like the level that you really shouldn't go past is in the eye of the beholder, because some people think it's okay to go all out. Some people don't like revenge at all. I myself like a tiny bit of revenge. Like, say my brother pulls a prank on me, I prank him back. But like, if someone like hurts me, like I'm this hasn't happened to me, but say someone stole my boyfriend. Like, I'm just using this as an example. I'm not going to go out of my way to get him back or get one of her exes to make her jealous. No, I don't give a fuck. If he doesn't want me, fine. I don't care. Which brings me to my next topic. Girls who are sluts, but claim to be, like, claim to be innocent. Like, I'm so innocent, I've never done anything, where really you're behind Cumberland Farms sucking dick. Okay? I'm not going to name names, but if you go to my school, you probably know who I'm talking about. And then the opposite of that, girls who aren't sluts but try to pretend they're all big and bad. Like, girls are like, ooh, I'm a slut. I did this with my boyfriend. We had sex. When really she's afraid to kiss the dude because of cooties. And they're like, they act so big and bad, and they're like, oh, you want to fight, but if I actually said yes, they'd probably run away screaming, because, like, I'm not a fighter. I don't like to fight. Like, if I'll defend myself, that's for sure, and I haven't had to defend myself since, like, the first grade, and that was just, like, a play fight. But, if you aren't really going to get in a fight with someone, don't say you will. And one other thing, my last thing that makes me angry is gossip. Like, people who are going to be like, oh, she's such a bitch. I wish she would just stop bothering me. We're not friends. But the moment that person walks in the room, you're like, oh, hi, yeah. And they act all fake. Like, if you don't want to be someone's friend, don't sit here and talk about them behind their back. Okay? Tell them you don't want to be friends. Or if you really do want to be friends but you're embarrassed to be around it, you're a bad friend and you should just go die. But anyways, that's pretty much it. And subscribe to my channel, and also subscribe to Butthole Betty, because, yeah, you get the point. Bye, bitches!